You have met her before. She walks into a room with quiet confidence and impeccable manners, and without saying a word, everyone knows she belongs among the world's most exclusive circles, simply because of the way she carries herself. But believe me, there is far more to it than the money in her bank account. In this video, I will reveal the 10 subtle behaviours that quietly signal true class, in a way that money cannot buy and pretending cannot sustain for long. Because whether you realize it or not, high-status people can decode whether you belong within the first 30 seconds. And trust me, mastering these habits could open doors you never even knew existed. Let's start with the strongest, most powerful behavior of all. Number 1. Status doesn't need advertising. I used to think class was about what you had, the clothes, the car, the postcode. But truly, high-value women rarely feel the need to advertise their status. They are not chasing attention through oversized logos, instantly recognizable designer labels, or the latest it bag everyone is talking about. They don't name drop to look important. They do not feel the need to constantly mention luxury holidays, exclusive experiences, cosmetic procedures, or the newest upgrade in their lives. It's their body language that reveals, "I belong here, no proof needed." And for the same reason, they rarely place their phone on the table during a conversation. Because true status is not about broadcasting importance, it's focus. Their clothes may be expensive, but they are rarely loud. Instead of obvious logos, they choose beautiful fabrics, impeccable tailoring, timeless cuts, and understated elegance. The focus is on looking effortlessly polished. Because when you are secure in your status, you stop feeling the need to display it. Number 2. They never look impressed by status. This is where most women accidentally expose themselves: a luxury hotel, an expensive home. Most people react in one of two ways. They either become overly excited, or they pretend not to care at all. Both reactions reveal insecurity. People who are genuinely comfortable around success don't perform. They simply appreciate, and then they continue the conversation. Because confidence doesn't need to prove familiarity. Number 3. The cat confidence. In my experience, this is the habit that separates truly classy women from everyone else. I call it the cat confidence because cats do this perfectly. They move through the world with a calm, effortless confidence. They don't need to be loud. They don't beg for attention. They simply know that their presence is enough. Real confidence is quiet. It doesn't need volume or dominate conversations. It simply exists. Steady, calm, and unbothered. So the next time you feel the urge to talk louder, show off, or make sure everyone in the room notices you, remember this: that isn't confidence. Remove the prove myself energy and replace it with presence. Because the women with the highest status rarely demand attention. They attract it. Number 4. Their relationship with time is different. Have you ever noticed how some people just move differently? Upper-class women never rush. They do not power walk through life in a state of constant urgency. They do not arrive breathless and apologetic. They do not schedule every minute of their day and then hope nothing goes wrong. Instead, they build margin into everything, for more space. Because rushing communicates something before you even speak. It signals that your schedule is controlling you rather than the other way around. It suggests poor planning, constant pressure, and a life that feels one step away from chaos. People pick up on this instantly. Moving with calm deliberation signals the opposite. It says, "I am in control of my time." That composure tells a story long before you open your mouth. Because the pace at which you move through life shapes the quality of everything that follows. The upper-class woman is not the one who is busy. She is the one who is in control. Number 5. Consistent manners. This is the one that reveals someone's upbringing within 10 seconds. True upper-class manners are not about knowing which fork to use or saying the right thing in formal situations. It's about consistency. Treating everyone with the same level of respect, whether someone is watching or not. Being just as warm to the person clearing the table as to the person sitting at the head of it. They do not interrupt. They wait. They say thank you with genuine appreciation, not as a social reflex. They do not speak down to staff, dismiss people they consider beneath them, or suddenly become charming when someone important enters the room. And none of it is performed. Class is not how you treat important people. It is how you treat people who can do absolutely nothing for you. Number 6. They accept compliments gracefully. This one reveals confidence immediately. What happens when someone tells you, "I love your jacket"? Most women panic. "Oh, this old thing. I got it on sale. It was really cheap." Notice what just happened. You rejected the compliment. You argued against your own value. Confident people do something much simpler. They smile. They say, "Thank you," and then they move on. Because confidence is not proving your worth. It is being comfortable with it. Number 7. They pause before they speak. This one is going to make you rethink the way you speak to people every day. For me, this was the hardest one to develop, because the urge to fill silence is deeply wired into most of us. We rush to answer. We rush to explain. But upper-class women move differently. They do not use 20 words when 5 will do. They do not, actually, and honestly their way through a sentence. They do not over-explain or talk their way through a thought they have not fully formed yet. They think. Then they speak. And when they do, every word earns its place. Clear sentences with calm delivery. No unnecessary drama. No chaos. Even when they disagree, the response is measured. Instead of reacting immediately, they pause, they consider. And then they say something like, "I see where you're coming from. Have you considered this perspective?" Not because they are trying to sound polite, because they have taken the time to think before they speak. And thoughtful responses are almost always more powerful than immediate ones. Try this for 1 week. Before responding to anything, pause for 2 seconds. Just 2. You will be surprised how much wiser, calmer, and more confident you sound. Number 8. Emotional investment. Sophisticated women are incredibly selective about what receives their emotional energy. They do not complain about every inconvenience, not the slow driver in front of them, or the colleague who annoyed them, and not the small frustrations that seem to consume everyone else's attention. Not because they never experience these things, but because they have decided those things are not worth their peace. When they do raise concerns, the concerns are usually practical: a scheduling conflict, a decision that requires more thought, a commitment that needs to be reconsidered. Calm, specific, solution-focused, and the difference is enormous. Because most elegant women understand something most people never learn. Every complaint is an investment of energy, and they are extremely careful about where they invest theirs. As a result, they bring a sense of calm into every room they enter. And ironically, by taking up less emotional space, they often end up having a much stronger presence, because composure is attractive. And emotional self-control is one of the clearest signals of true class. Number 9. Crystal clear boundaries. For a long time, I thought boundaries created distance. I thought saying no, protecting my privacy, or keeping certain things to myself would make me seem cold, unfriendly, or difficult. Then I realized the opposite is true. Truly classy women have exceptionally clear boundaries. They do not overshare. They do not reveal their entire life story to people who have not earned that level of trust. And they definitely do not chase relationships that drain them, nor do they stay connected to people out of guilt, obligation, or fear of disappointing others. On the other hand, they are warm, kind, and approachable. But they are not instantly available to everyone. They are simply selective about who gets access to the deeper parts of their lives. And this creates respect. And the women who command the most respect are often the women who respect themselves first. The less you feel the need to explain, prove, or reveal, the more confidence you quietly communicate. That is not a strategy. It is simply what self-respect looks like from the outside. And perhaps that is the real secret behind every point in this video. Class is not about money. It is about self-respect made visible. Number 10. How you behave when no one is looking. This may be the biggest giveaway of all, because anyone can perform for a few minutes. Anyone can sit up straight when they know they are being watched. Anyone can be polite when the boss is nearby. Anyone can appear sophisticated during an important meeting. But who are you when the performance is over? How do you sit when you're waiting alone? How do you eat when nobody important is at the table? How do you talk about people when they are not in the room? These small moments reveal far more than the polished version you show the world. Sophisticated women understand that character is not something you switch on and off. It is consistency. Their posture does not collapse the moment attention disappears. They do not rush through meals as if they are in a race. And they never use gossip, cruelty, or ridicule as entertainment. Because real class is not what you do when everyone is watching. It is what you do when nobody is. And ironically, those are often the moments people remember most, because there is almost always someone looking. So what is the real secret of class? It is not money. It is not status. And it is certainly not the logo on your handbag. Class is not something you buy. It is something you practice. Because the most elegant women are not defined by what they own. They are defined by how they think, how they behave, and how they make others feel, and that is available to all of us.